All right, folks. Today is September the 7th. Yeah, it's about 3:30 in the afternoon. It's going to be real quick and short. And today's video is going to be on actually taking a loss and how your psychology should be. This will be another trade to where I'm actually at a loss, and I want to talk about the euro. Now, I take a lot of pride in my euro accounts because it's one of the most volatile markets to trade. So when you're trying to get a community together, when you're talking about the euro, you kind of want to be accurate because a lot of people trade that, they trade the market. So the last thing, the easiest way to lose a following is to start, posting videos of just consecutive labels that are failures, basically. And what I would like to speak about today is this particular temporary failure in the euro. This was a primary count, and I had an alternate. I just changed my labels, but I didn't change them all the way. But if you look at the euro on a daily time frame, you can clearly see, or even on a weekly. Let's look at a daily though. Let's see, where am I at? So on a daily, so we're starting here. I'm down. I'm down 50 pips right now. I was down a little bit longer than that. I mean, a little bit more than that. My stop has always remained at the very high because I wasn't sure if, as you can see, this particular question mark is, I wasn't sure if that was wave at the top of wave 5. Clearly, it's not. This is not wave 4. This is A of 4. This is B of 4 here, and then possibly a C, D, and then an E. So if you're looking at that, basically we're in a triangle to where wave 4 is actually going to be somewhere around here when it ends, and then you have another wave up that's probably going to be somewhere around 122, give or take, high 121, 122. So looking at that on a 240, so that we can get to the conclusion, this is the top of wave 3. I originally had where this B is a 4. But now this is actually, I'm sorry, yeah, I had this B as a 4, so I had a B, C for 4, and then a 1, 2, 3 here, 4, and then a 5 here for wave 5. But it's still, what I still had is this, looking at speaking with a lot of analysts, we did not foresee that was a high, so we figured it would be one more high. But when I looked at it weekly and I saw a few things on the weekly charts, I ended up noticing that it could have been possible that the top could have been formed. So therefore, I went short basically, and I was up. And right now I'm not. So this is why I want to talk about this. So here's my alternate count. So you always want your primary and your alternate. And at the end of the day, if you take a loss, just take it and move on, and relabel and go from there. Because you're never going to 100% accurately count and label markets. It's just not going to happen. You're going to take loss. Make sure that your risk is low. You're not taking a loss. I already had my stop at that particular. I already had my stop at the high, so I was willing to risk that. So going forward, let me go ahead on and just talk about this. So this is a 3, this is an A, this is an A, B, C for wave B. Now let me get rid of this. This is a C. Instead of these 5 wave moves, I got this. Let's see if I can move that. Might not be able to. Let's move it right here, and then let's do that. And I'll move that back. I don't even think I need that. Yeah, I probably don't even need it. So then this is wave C. We can get this out the way because this is invalidated. So then this is an A, basically. That's A of D. And then you got B of D. And then maybe you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for C of D, basically. So you have the D. But I do have an alternate. So my alternate, or this is A of C. So basically this is, instead of this being A, B here, then C here, then D here, and then possibly E that can find some support around 1900. My alternate will be that this is B, but now this is A of C, this is B of C, and then you'll see C of C that can go a little lower, basically. And then you'll have D and then E. It's just going to depend how it plays out. But right now, my primary will be that we're in a triangle wave 4, and we just completed wave D of the 4, which did not go above the C. So the C ended at 120.70, give or take, and the D ended at 120.60. So unless this particular wave C, unless current market price go above this high, then once it does that, this entire triangle is invalidated. It's completely wrong. So it did not do that. So so I'm expecting prices to go lower. At that point, then I'll do a counter trading trade, because if I'm expecting wave E to be, if this is correct, trading the thrust out of the triangles is some of the best trading opportunities that for Elliotticians. So if that's the case, if it comes down to, let's say, 1900, a little bit more than 100 ticks from now, and I go long with a stop, right below the C, because it can't do that, then you're talking about a 60 or so tick risk, 70 tick risk, somewhere around there, and you're talking probably about 200 ticks, and it won't go this far. However, if this is the A of C and this is B of C, then you just may see C of C go here. So that's why you have to be careful and make sure that you have your primaries and alternates, because let's just say I went with my primary, and if my primary was correct and I'm expecting E to find support, let's say at 1898, and let's say it just goes up 10 15 ticks, and then all of a sudden I have my stop way down here where this C is at, and then it penetrates that stop. Well, I just lost 75 ticks. Why? Because it's really of a labeling error, because I failed to mention and realize that I had an alternate count. So it's not that you're wrong, it's just that your primary was wrong and your alternate was probably the correct one. So in the case of the euro for now, that's kind of how it ended up being in this case. I had my primary as possibly the wave 5 had ended and we should go down to the short side, and I had an alternate that we were in a triangle of wave 4, but I went with my primary because that's what the market told me. Then the ECB press came out earlier this morning and prices skyrocketed in the euro, but it found resistance before the top of wave C. So now I looked at it. Oh, now my alternate is back. So, but I said I wanted to keep this quick. Get comfortable. I know it's very uncomfortable managing losses, but in order for you to trade, you have to get comfortable. You have to keep the same emotions that you have when you win a trade or when you lose a trade. And then when I look at it, okay, I'm down 51 ticks here. But let's look at the Aussie. I got in the Aussie trade at the same time. And if you look at my Aussie trade, I think I was up about 20 or 30 ticks. I'm up 430. And that relates to around, let me see what that is. That's 86 ticks. So I'm down 50 in one market. I'm up 86 in the next market. So give or take, I'm up. Not to mention, 2 days ago, sorry about that, 2 days ago, I took the Aussie CAD. As you can see, I got into Aussie CAD at 99.67. I've already raised my stop low, very low, and I'm actually going to raise it lower and even lower. I'm already up 214 ticks. So a loss is a loss at the end of the day. You have to kind of just, and the euro, not to mention the pound trade, I'm down, give or take, in the because I actually added on another contract, so I got in like around 31.70, somewhere around here, expecting, I believe, this to be the top, and it wasn't, and I ended up adding another contract. It went up. I had I wanted my stop to. I normally originally had my stop above the 2, which is at 31.89. Then I brought it down to this particular area here, where this particular um, moving average resistance level is at. So I think that 31.40 would hold, and price should go down if this is wave 2. So, but just the message in this particular video is, get comfortable. It's very difficult, but in order for you to become a professional trader, you have to get comfortable with losses, and you have to have the same emotions that you have when you win as when you lose. And all you do is just relabel. If ever you take a loss, just say, okay, my labels were wrong. It wasn't that you lost, it's that you had the incorrect labels. And you just go recount and you go from there. So I hope this is something that's a quick tip that'll help. And I'll be back tomorrow with a different video. Happy trading.